Don't buy these 8 UK egg brands, one could risk your health. Introduction: the truth about the eggs in your fridge. Eggs are one of the most common foods in every UK household. From a quick breakfast omelette to baking cakes on weekends, eggs are everywhere. They are affordable, packed with protein, and easy to cook. But what if I told you that not all eggs are created equal? Some egg brands in the UK have faced serious criticism over quality concerns, animal welfare issues, recalls, or hygiene standards. And in rare cases, contaminated eggs have even caused illness outbreaks. Today, we're diving deep into 8 UK egg brands you should think twice about buying. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. Because when it comes to food safety, knowledge is power. Before we begin, remember, food safety can change over time. Always check the latest updates from the Food Standards Agency before making decisions. Let's begin. 1. Clarence Court, premium price, premium problems. Clarence Court markets itself as a luxury egg brand. Beautiful packaging, golden yolks, and premium pricing. Many consumers love the rich taste of their Burford Browns. But here's the concern. In recent years, several UK supermarkets removed batches of Clarence Court eggs following precautionary recalls linked to possible salmonella contamination. While recalls are a sign of safety systems working, they also raise questions about supply chain control. What's the risk? Salmonella can cause fever, stomach cramps, diarrhea, vomiting for elderly people, children, and pregnant women. The risks are more serious. Premium branding does not guarantee zero risk. Always check batch codes before purchasing. 2. Happy Egg Company, are they really happy? The Happy Egg Company is widely available across UK supermarkets. Their marketing focuses on cheerful hens and free-range farms. However, animal welfare activists have previously questioned some free-range labeling practices across the industry. During avian flu outbreaks, hens were temporarily kept indoors while eggs were still labeled as free-range under government guidelines. While this was legally permitted under UK rules, some consumers felt misled. Why this matters: transparency builds trust. When consumers feel confused about labeling, confidence drops. Always look for farm codes on the shell. British Lion Stamp Clear Free-Range Certification. 3. Noble Foods, the giant behind many brands. Noble Foods is one of the UK's largest egg producers. They supply multiple supermarket-owned brand eggs. When a company is this large, even a small mistake can affect millions of cartons. There have been industry-wide recalls linked to suppliers connected with major producers in the past, including salmonella risks. While not always directly the company's fault, large-scale operations increase complexity and risk. The concern: mass production means faster turnover, higher supply chain pressure, greater contamination risk. If standards slip, bigger doesn't always mean safer. 4. St. U free-range eggs, ethical image, industry challenges. St. U promotes sustainable and ethical farming. Their branding is strong, and they're popular in premium supermarkets. However, even respected producers are not immune to food safety scares. In recent years, several egg brands across the UK faced precautionary recalls during salmonella investigations. The lesson? No brand is invincible. Key reminder: even high-end, farm-fresh labels do not eliminate bacterial contamination, transport, handling risk, storage errors. Always refrigerate eggs properly and check expiration dates. 5. Oakland's Farm Eggs, past recall alerts. Oakland's Farm Eggs has supplied eggs under various supermarket labels. Some batches were withdrawn in previous years as part of wider salmonella investigations affecting multiple suppliers. Although recalls are precautionary and don't always mean confirmed contamination, they are warning signals. Why recalls matter: if a brand appears repeatedly in recall notices, it suggests potential system weaknesses. You can check official recall lists via Food Standards Agency website. 6. Iceland own brand eggs, budget concerns. Budget supermarkets often sell lower-cost own-brand eggs sourced from large producers. Lower price does not automatically mean lower quality. However, Cost cutting can sometimes reduce farm oversight, increase stocking density, pressure supply chains. Consumers should pay attention to British Lion Mark storage conditions in store. Damaged cartons, cracked eggs significantly increase contamination risk. 7. Tesco own brand eggs, volume versus vigilance. Tesco is one of the UK's largest grocery retailers. Their own brand eggs sell in massive volumes. With huge scale comes increased responsibility. Tesco has previously issued precautionary recalls for eggs during industry-wide contamination alerts. While Tesco follows strict UK standards, volume production means even small errors can affect thousands of households. Important tip: never ignore recall announcements, even if you already consumed some eggs. Monitor symptoms and seek medical advice if necessary. 8. Sainsbury's own brand eggs, label confusion. Sainsbury's also sells large volumes of own brand eggs. The biggest issue here isn't necessarily contamination, it's consumer confusion. Some buyers struggle to understand barn versus free-range, organic versus standard farm code identification. If consumers don't understand labeling, they can't make informed choices. The real health risk: Salmonella explained. Most egg-related scares involve Salmonella. Symptoms usually appear within 6 to 72 hours and may include severe diarrhea, fever, dehydration, nausea. High-risk groups: elderly, pregnant women, children under 5, people with weakened immune systems. Cooking eggs thoroughly significantly reduces risk. How to protect yourself: here's how you can reduce risk regardless of brand. 1. Look for the British Lion stamp. This indicates vaccination against Salmonella in hens. 2. Refrigerate immediately. Keep eggs below 5 degrees Celsius. 3. Avoid cracked eggs. Even tiny cracks allow bacteria inside. 4. Cook properly. Avoid raw or undercooked eggs unless pasteurized. 5. Check recall lists. Visit the Food Standards Agency website regularly. Are all UK eggs unsafe? Absolutely not. The UK has one of the strongest egg safety systems in Europe. Thanks to hen vaccination programs, British Lion schemes, strict hygiene laws, Salmonella rates are far lower than in the 1980s and 1990s. This video is not saying never buy eggs. It's saying be aware. Be informed. Be smart. The shocking truth: the brand that could risk your health isn't just one name. It's any brand where storage was poor, handling was careless, recall notices were ignored, eggs were eaten undercooked. The real danger isn't always the logo, it's the system. Final thoughts: eggs are healthy. Eggs are affordable. Eggs are nutritious. But safety requires smart consumers, transparent brands, strong regulation. Before your next grocery trip, check your fridge. Check your cartons. Check the stamp. Because sometimes, the most ordinary food on your table can hide an extraordinary risk. Don't buy these 8 UK egg brands, one could risk your health. Part 2. When breakfast turns into a nightmare. It was a normal Sunday morning. A family in Manchester sat down for breakfast. Toast. Scrambled eggs. Tea. Nothing unusual. But by evening, stomach cramps began. Then nausea. Then fever. Within 24 hours, 2 members of the household were in hospital with severe dehydration. Doctors suspected food poisoning. The likely cause? Undercooked eggs from a recently purchased supermarket carton. Now here's something important: this wasn't about one evil brand. It was about how quickly a small safety slip, anywhere in the chain, can affect real people. According to investigations and public recall notices from the Food Standards Agency, egg-related contamination incidents usually begin long before the egg reaches your kitchen. Let's uncover how. Inside the egg supply chain, where things can go wrong from farm to fork, eggs pass through multiple stages: hen housing, egg collection, cleaning and grading, packing facilities, transportation, supermarket storage. Your refrigerator. At each stage, temperature control is critical. Even respected producers like Clarence Court and large suppliers connected to Noble Foods rely on complex logistics systems. 1 refrigeration delay. 1 hygiene lapse. 1 cracked shell unnoticed. That's all it takes. The Salmonella scare that changed the industry back in the late 1980s, the UK faced a major Salmonella crisis that shook consumer confidence. Egg sales collapsed. Public fear spread nationwide. The response? A complete overhaul of egg safety systems, including the British Lion Quality Scheme. Today, brands sold through supermarkets like Tesco, Sainsbury's, and Iceland typically carry the Lion mark. But here's the truth, even strong systems depend on strict compliance. And no system is perfect. Free-range versus reality, the label confusion. Many shoppers automatically choose free-ranged eggs, believing they are safer and more ethical. Brands like Happy Egg Company and St. U free-range eggs promote outdoor access and high welfare. But during avian flu restrictions, hens are sometimes required to stay indoors temporarily. Legally, eggs can still be labeled free-range for a limited time under government guidance. Is this unsafe? Not necessarily. Is it confusing? Absolutely. Consumers often assume free range equals lower risk. But salmonella risk depends more on hygiene and vaccination than outdoor access. The hidden danger, cracked eggs. Here's something most shoppers overlook. When you open a carton at the store, do you check every egg carefully? Even a hairline crack can allow bacteria inside, increase contamination risk, shorten shelf life. Many food poisoning cases begin not because the brand was bad, but because one cracked egg slipped through unnoticed. And with high-volume retailers like Tesco or Sainsbury's selling millions of eggs weekly, small inspection failures can happen. What happens during a recall? Let's break it down. When a supplier detects possible contamination, the batch is identified. Supermarkets are notified. Public recall notices are issued. Customers are told to return or dispose of eggs. This has happened across various brands and retailers over the years, sometimes involving suppliers linked to companies like Noble Foods or regional producers such as Oakland's Farm Eggs. A recall does not always mean confirmed illness. It means potential risk. But here's the scary part, not everyone sees recall notices. Many people eat the eggs before hearing the warning. Who is most at risk? Healthy adults usually recover from mild salmonella without long-term problems. But high-risk groups include elderly individuals, pregnant women, infants, and young children. People with weakened immune systems. For them, dehydration and complications can become serious quickly. That's why doctors advise vulnerable groups to avoid runny yolks. Homemade mayonnaise with raw egg, raw cake batter. Are budget eggs more dangerous? This is one of the biggest myths online. Lower-cost eggs sold through retailers like Iceland or supermarket-owned brand lines are not automatically unsafe. However, budget pricing can sometimes mean higher density hen housing, faster turnover cycles, tight supply margins. When margins are tight, pressure increases across the supply chain. Again, not proof of danger, but a factor to consider. The shocking truth: it's not just about the brand. Here's what most viral headlines won't tell you: the biggest risk factor is improper handling after purchase. Many households leave eggs in warm cars, store them in fridge doors, where temperature fluctuates, keep them past expiration dates, eat them undercooked. Even the safest egg brand becomes risky under poor storage. How to choose safer eggs. Next time you shop, look for the British Lion stamp. Check the farm code printed on the shell. Open the carton and inspect for cracks. Check best before date. Buy from stores with good refrigeration. When you get home, store eggs in the main fridge compartment, not the door. Keep below 5 degrees Celsius. Cook until yolk and white are firm. So, which brand is the worst? You may have clicked expecting one shocking name. But here's the honest answer: there is no single or worst UK egg brand consistently proven unsafe. Even respected names like Clarence Court, Happy Egg Company, or major supermarket-owned brands operate within strict UK safety frameworks. The real risk appears when supply chains fail, recalls are ignored, eggs are mishandled, consumers don't stay informed. Final investigation verdict: the UK egg industry is far safer today than decades ago. But no food product carries zero risk. So the real message isn't, don't buy eggs. It's, don't buy blindly. Be informed. Check stamps. Monitor recalls through the Food Standards Agency. Store properly. Cook thoroughly. Because sometimes, protecting your health isn't about avoiding food. It's about understanding it behind closed doors, what you're not seeing when you walk through a supermarket aisle. Eggs look simple. White shells. Brown shells. Neatly stacked cartons. But behind those cartons lies a system most consumers never see. Mass-scale farming. Tight production schedules. Quality control checks. Logistics networks moving millions of eggs weekly across the UK. Companies such as Noble Foods, one of the UK's largest egg producers, manage enormous supply chains. That scale brings efficiency, but also vulnerability. Experts often say, food safety isn't about eliminating risk. It's about managing it. And management depends on consistency. Every single day. The 3 hidden pressure points after reviewing industry reports, recall notices, and food safety investigations linked to updates from the Food Standards Agency. 3 common pressure points appear repeatedly. 1. Biosecurity on farms. If hygiene slips at the farm level, bacteria can spread among hens quickly. Vaccination programs under the British Lion scheme have dramatically reduced salmonella cases, but vaccination doesn't eliminate 100% risk. 2. Packing and grading facilities. Eggs move fast on conveyor belts. Machines check for cracks, weight, and quality. But technology isn't perfect. A micro crack too small to detect can still allow bacteria inside. 3. Retail storage conditions. Even major retailers like Tesco and Sainsbury's depend on store-level refrigeration compliance. If fridge temperatures fluctuate, bacteria can multiply faster. The psychology of premium branding. Let's talk about perception. Premium brands such as Clarence Court and ethically marketed companies like Happy Egg Company or St. U free-range eggs create emotional trust through beautiful packaging, farm storytelling, welfare-focused messaging. Consumers subconsciously assume premium equals safer. But food safety experts warn that branding and biological risk are not the same thing. Salmonella doesn't care about packaging design. What food safety experts actually say. Public health advisors generally agree on this. UK eggs are among the safest in Europe due to vaccination programs and regulatory oversight. However, they also stress that no supply chain is immune to failure. Recalls are precautionary, not proof of guilt. Consumer handling plays a huge role. In fact, many cases of foodborne illness happen at home, not on the farm. The real risk, complacency. The most dangerous ingredient in your kitchen isn't the egg. It's complacency. When consumers assume, this brand is expensive, so it must be safe. It's within date, so I don't need to refrigerate properly. A slightly runny yolk won't matter. That's when risk increases. The runny yolk debate. Here's a controversial topic. In the UK, lion-stamped eggs are considered safe enough that pregnant women are sometimes advised they can eat lightly cooked eggs. But safety depends on proper vaccination, correct storage, no shell damage, freshness. If any of those factors fail, undercooking increases risk. So, while lion eggs are safer than decades ago, safe doesn't mean the zero risk. A hypothetical scenario, how it happens. Imagine this chain reaction. A farm worker accidentally skips a hygiene protocol. A small bacterial presence develops in one hen house. Eggs are collected and processed. One micro-cracked egg passes inspection. Transport refrigeration briefly fails. A customer buys the carton and leaves it in a warm car. Eggs are cooked soft-boiled. Individually, each step seems minor. Together? That's how illness begins. No single villain. Just small errors adding up. So should you stop buying eggs? Absolutely not. Eggs are nutrient-dense, affordable, protein versatile in cooking, widely regulated in the UK. The UK's vaccination program significantly reduced salmonella rates compared to the 1990s. But awareness should replace blind trust. How to be a smarter buyer. Here's your final checklist. Always check for the British Lion stamp. Inspect shelves for cracks. Avoid cartons with moisture inside. Store eggs in the main fridge compartment. Use best before date. Cook thoroughly for vulnerable individuals. And most importantly, stay updated through official notices from the Food Standards Agency, the brand that could risk your health. Here's the twist. It isn't just one of the 8 brands mentioned. It's any brand, premium or budget. If biosecurity fails, inspection fails, storage fails, or consumer handling fails, food safety is a shared responsibility. Producers, retailers, regulators, and you. Final verdict, fear versus facts. Let's separate drama from reality. Fact, UK egg safety standards are strong. Fact, recalls still happen. Fact, salmonella risk still exists, though rare. Fact, proper cooking and storage dramatically reduce risk. This isn't about panic. It's about prevention. Because something as simple as breakfast should never become a health scare. Closing line for maximum YouTube impact next time you crack an egg. Pause. Look at the stamp. Check the shell. And remember, safety doesn't start in the supermarket.